All right, you guys, I told you guys I'd do more reaction content. So today we're reacting to the top 100 OP Tekken moves of all time. This video was made by Shirdel. It's I didn't know about it until yesterday. I watched all of it up until the last 20 because you know, I'm not gonna do a 2-hour video reacting to Tekken moves. That's too much, and plus it'd be way too long. So I'm just gonna do the top 20. There's a few moves that I think are for sure gonna be in there. All right. I think one, he hasn't talked about the electric, so electric for sure I think is gonna be in there. Then we have Leroy's down 1+2 when he came out on launch. Bullshit ass move. And of course Leroy's back 1+2. But other than that, probably King's down forward one. The one that I heard about this watching somebody play Tekken Tag, or not Tekken Tag, or Tekken 2, that King's down forward one or whatever in Tekken 2 was plus 86 on block. So I'm not sure, but it's gonna be, that's the whole point. I want to see what's up.
Tekken 4 Jin, we meet once again. Just making the top 20 is Jin's LLRK, and you might be surprised at this move placed lower than the Hell Sweep. In Tekken 4, it doesn't even lead to a full launch. But there's one simple explanation.
Safe.
In Tekken 4, it's minus 12 on block. No stagger, no nothing, it's minus 12. You can't launch unless you carry it. We're top 20, everybody. Let's move on.
What is this game?
You thought Bob was OP in Tekken 6 BR, where he dominated Evo 2011? Well, he was even worse in vanilla Tekken 6. And yes, his Hell Sweep is even worse than Jin's ever was. It gave a mini combo in the open, but if it got to the wall, the damage was eye-watering.
Wow.
It also tracked to Bob's right, and Bob can mix it up with
Look at how old these videos are, man. This looks like fucking Tekken.
We'll get to that soon. When you think of the most iconic OP moves from this series,
Waning Moon,
this may be one of the first moves you think of. Ogre's Waning Moon from Tekken 3 is a
it wasn't that bad in Tag 2.
Unbreakable launching throw. A tricky input to perform
Unbreakable
quick, but
launching
insane
throw.
Speed and scariness. Ogre also has a multitude of juggle follow-ups which lead to great Okazeme. It has the dubious honor of being the highest ranking throw on this list, as well as the highest ranking move from Tekken 3 on this list, and for very, very good reason. Oh my god, Geese, stop appearing on this list, please. Stop being so broken. At least this time.
Yeah, I still have Geese as a top 3 character,
Geese's Dark Jab led to a guaranteed forward 1 on counter hit, which could lead to popping meter and the choice of either a guaranteed 50 plus damage, a launching mix-up, unless you can fuzzy it on hit, or potentially a wall bounce for outrageous amounts of damage. Off of a 10 frames special mid. Imagine if Namco didn't know this move and it still worked.
This is what I was talking about. Like, they knew what they were doing. They gave all those characters moves that were 13 frames or faster in counter hit launchers.
Hey guys, number 16 on the top 100 overpowered moves in Tekken history list is Brian Snakeedge.
These are the Oki options, right?
Beyond the lethargic reactions, there's a very good reason this move is on the list. In Tekken 5, for a couple of frames, players cannot block during the end of their tech row animation. What does that mean? Well, it means Snakeedge tech roll catches. Sounds pretty toxic, right? Well, that's not the reason this move is so high up on the list. The real reason is because at the wall, after a wall juggle, the opponent is face down and doesn't have time to quick stand and block low. And they can't tech roll and block low either because of the timing. So, the Snakeedge hits for guaranteed damage, or they tech roll, and it launches. It's absurd levels of wall damage that immediately leads into ridiculous Wargi thanks to Brian's insane.
One thing that I would like is for Bandai Namco not to
Brian has you at the wall. You will never be more afraid of
not
Snakeedge.
to remaster the games, but I would like them to make it so you can play them online, Like just make it so, oh, here's Tekken 3 and you can play it online. And I think it'd be fun, you know, especially as somebody who's a newer Tekken player. I'd
You're
really
right.
enjoy to play a older Tekken, because sometimes Tekken 7 is
It's
like
time,
fuck
ladies and
Tekken,
gentlemen. The most
but
iconic
like
move in Tekken,
at
the
least
Electric Wind
I
Godfist,
can
makes a
go
shocking
play
entry
Tekken
into the
5 and be
list
like, yeah, this
at
version
number
of Tekken is a
15.
lot worse.
But which Electric Wind Godfist would it be? Well, in my humble opinion, this is even easier to decide than the Hell Sweep. Jin's Electric Wind Godfist from Tekken Tag Tournament is the best in this series. That's right, Jin from Tag 1 has the best Electric and Hell Sweep in the same game. There's one simple reason for this. It's a special mid when tag buffered. That's right, a
What the-
14 frame special mid tag launcher. The trade-off is that the tag launcher variant have the same properties on block as the regular Wind Godfist, but in tag 1, that was safe anyway. Because of this, it's hard to even call the regular electric and the tag electric the same move. But because tag 1 Jin has access to both, which are both equally strong for different reasons, I put them on the list. Again, Jin was the strongest character in Tekken Tag Tournament because he had so many rock solid tools.
Oh, we're taking another game off the list.
Back with Leroy once again. We're seeing
Yeah.
so many OP characters in the top 20 onwards. Tekken 4 Jin, Tekken 6 Bob, Tekken 3 Ogre, Season 1 and 2 Geese, Tekken 5 Brian, Tekken Tag 1 Jin, and now Leroy yet again. This time it is down 1+2, which was a 17 frame ground hitting safe mid counter hit launcher that was +6 on hit and neutral on block. You want to talk about
That
risk
was
and
pretty
reward?
good, you know?
This move's risk reward is one of the best for a mid of its speed and hitbox in the series history. A terrifying move that truly badly needed a nerf and got one very
I
quick.
can't believe they let that in the game, you know? Like,
The most broken move in Tekken 6 is probably to little surprise on the vanilla arcade version. And now you know that it probably surprises you even less that it's a move that this fat fuck has. Yes, it's Bob's down forward 2, which in Tekken 6 points
Regular
is a
launch?
normal hit launcher.
wow.
Bob's down forward 2 is safe and it's 15
I think they
frames
should
and
make
has
Eddie's
incredible
down
hitbox.
forward too
It's
in Tekken
unbelievably
7
strong.
regular
I
launch,
mean, put it
because
this way,
that
Bob
character
dominated
sucks.
Evo 2011 and the rest of Tekken 6 without this move being
I'm
normal
sorry,
hit.
that character sucks,
So
bro.
imagine how bad it'd be if it still was.
Like, I hate playing against Eddie, but like,
Before Tekken 3, it's
at
hard
this
to say that
point,
Tekken
I'm
was a
tired of
truly
playing with the
3D
same
game when it
characters.
operated as more of a 2.5D game. 3D graphics, sure, but practically on a two-dimensional plane with just a handful of exceptions. Side rolling, Heihachi's runaway in Tekkens 1 and 2, Yoshimitsu's spin that cost life in Tekken 2, and Kazuya's shadow step in Tekken 2. This was the only sidestep in the game at the time, and while it didn't operate like a sidestep from later games, it was ridiculously effective. In a
Mishima
game where the
privilege.
concept of tracking moves had never been necessary to consider until now, Kazuya's shadow step was truly game-breaking. And if it didn't get any worse, the input for his shadow step was the first part of his perfect wind godfist, which is delayable. In other words, if Kazuya sidesteps a move, he can whiff punish it in 13 frames with a wind godfist. Kazuya was truly in a league of his own in Tekken 2 for many reasons, but access to his shadow step, when mastered, was the greatest. This might amaze some people, but the original Wind Godfist from Tekken 1 is stronger than the Electric Wind Godfist has ever been since. Why is that? Well, it's not the same plain old Wind Godfist that's jab punishable in high from future games. No, this Wind Godfist is safe, and it's a fucking mid. And it's a touch of death. And it's still 14 frames. That's why. I can't think of anything funny to say. It's a fucking safe mid touch of death that's 14 frames. And it's not even in the top 10.
Hey, you know, you
What the
just
hell is
play a
left?
Mishima,
Well, we've
bro.
got 10 moves and 6 Tekken games left between them. How many of the top 10 can you guess? Pause the video and take a moment to think of all the moves that are left.
Back one
Write them
plus
down if you
two,
like. You'll almost definitely be able to guess a couple.
for sure, by
Can
Eddie.
you guess them all? And can you guess which move will be number 1? Let's find out.
I
I'll tell
honestly
you
don't
what's
know.
left. more fucking Leroy moves, that's what.
Oh, his
Barely reaching the
1-1
top 10 is
string.
Leroy's
That's true.
1-1, 1+2, 1. A 10 frame natural counter hit
What a
combo that
BS
was
move.
partially hit confirmable and therefore safe, and could lead to over 60 damage or even more at the wall. The move that won Evo Japan kicks off our top 10.
That was pretty good.
I know at the start of this list I said that I wouldn't include the same move twice from two different games, but Steve's down forward 2 from Tekken 5 is a very different move to his down forward 2 from Tekken 7. Steve's whole archetype is that he's a counter hit monster, but he doesn't have quick launches like a generic hop kick in
Imagine,
down
bro.
forward 2. Except
Tekken 7?
Not only does he have
Holy
the best generic
crap.
down forward 2 in that game, but it has some extra bells and whistles too. Cancel into sway to try and make your opponent whiff when they think it's their turn? Check. Cancel into duck for high crushing frames, extended duck mix-ups, and max damage juggles? Check. Have a second hit that's also safe and launches crouching opponents? Fucking
Wow.
check. And it has a hitbox that's so meaty it's comparable to Jack's down forward 2. This move signifies a point in the list where we're shifting from situationally strong moves to straight up game breaking moves.
We're gonna be seeing a lot of Steve, right, in the top 10?
This is where things get really serious, and it doesn't get much more serious than the original Tekken's twin pistons, a 13 frame mid-safe natural hit launcher.
That's
and in
pretty
Tekken
good.
1 that means 90 to 100% damage juggles. If the risk reward meta gets any more lopsided than this, the scales are going to break through the Earth's crust. One of the most brutally unfair moves from Tekken 1 all the way
Oh,
through
look at these
to Tag 1.
polygons.
Back with Tekken 7, and for the final time in this list, back with Leroy.
Back
Tekken
1
has some
plus 2.
standardized,
Has to be,
well-established, unspoken rules when it comes
It's
to
a
creating
mid
characters and move lists.
Magic
Now,
4.
these rules aren't typically broken. No moves faster than 10 frames. The exceptions all have very unusual features, such as extremely small hitboxes, for example. No safe lows. Again, some exceptions, but they're few in number and are all very weak in damage to compensate. Another of these rules is the Magic 4 rule. You can probably tell why I'm going with this. Characters may have counter hit launches that are either 13 frames and homing, or 11 to 13 frames and aren't homing with other strong moves to compensate. The rule is that these Magic 4 launches are all high.
Yeah.
Every single one, even Steve's, which is a punch. And then Leroy appeared and categorically broke that rule with his 12 frame counter hit launching mid back 1+2. This move breaks
I still
the
think
game
Magic
in so
4s
many
are
ways I can't
BS.
even
I'm
begin
a
to
huge
explain. But to give a very small
person
example,
who
there are some
dislikes
mix-up
Magic
options
4s.
such as Julia's Windroll and Kunomitsu's back turn mix that can all be option selected on block by a 12 frame mid. Now imagine if that 12 frame mid also netted the player a full launch. His move single-handedly
luck,
shuts down
AJ.
characters in
Good
a bunch of
luck.
mix-up games as it has no weaknesses. How do you beat it? You can't duck it, you can't punish it, you usually can't interrupt it in most cases. All you can do is delay your timing, which puts the advantage firmly in Leroy's court, until later on, where the hitbox got nerfed. It is by all definitions a game-breaking move, and it should never have existed in the first place. The last few moves on this list move past the realm of overpowered and into the realm of complete broken stupidity.
Yeah, King's
Next
down
is a move that
4-1.
I'm sure many people predicted to be around this point in the list. King and Armor King's down forward 1 from the original Tekken. If you don't know, this 14 frame mid elbow with a great hitbox forces crouch on head. Sounds normal enough, right? Well, when the opponent blocks this move, they face a considerable amount of block stun. Okay, that's pretty dumb, getting a free mix up on block for a really fast mid poke. Yeah, that's pretty bloody dumb, but maybe not worthy of being in the top 10. No, this move is a launcher on block. Yeah, during that block stun, if you attack the opponent, it connects as an aerial state. It's at least 50% damage with King and even more with Armor King. Again, this is clearly an oversight on the developer's part, but holy fuck is it a pretty big fat fuck up on the old fuck upometer. I mean, we'd rather get hit by than block. It's absurd. And you know the worst part? This isn't even the last Tekken 1 move on the list. We have 5 moves from 5 games left. pause the video now and try to think of what 5 moves from these 5 games could be the top 5 most OP moves in Tekken's long history.
Well, I'm gonna guess Steve's
Think you got it?
weave into
Let's find out.
fucking bullshit infinite.
We're visiting Tekken 2 for the last time in this list, and we're actually back with Bruce. Is 1-2 down +4 3 and 2 down +4 3 are high low mid and high low mid strings, where if the low hits, the mid is guaranteed after, and Bruce also gets a follow-up. So what's broken about that? Well, if you block any of the high jabs, you can't block the low. It's guaranteed.
Nice.
On block. That's about 40% of your health bar gone for blocking a jab. There's literally nothing stopping Bruce from just backdashing, doing the Gatling combination we mentioned a bit earlier, anytime an opponent gets remotely close, and if your opponent tries beating it with fast moves, Bruce can go back to his also broken jab stream that does
Pretty good. I hope
40%
Devil
damage
Jin
on
gets a
block.
buff like that.
This is essentially King and Armor King's downfall 1 from Tekken 1. But instead of trying
Just
not to block a
sidestep. What the
downfall
hell?
1,
Just
try not
sidestep
to
the
block
low.
a freaking jab that has a block confirmable guaranteed follow-up. It's almost certainly a developer oversight, but it makes Bruce one of the most toxic characters in Tekken history.
Oh, well, I'm definitely a Bruce main in Tekken. Okay, Tekken 2's done.
In 4th place, and the most OP move in the original Tekken, is a move I don't think many people have even heard of before, which will likely surprise a lot of you. But let me try to explain my reasoning to you all. In 4th place is Heihachi's Hell Sweep string. Wait, didn't we cover Hell Sweeps a while back? Yeah, we sure did. This is a whole different beast. Why, you ask? Well, this Hell Sweep isn't just safe. It's a mix-up on block. The Hell Sweep doesn't stagger, and Heihachi can either immediately perform another Hell Sweep after, or go for a safe mid, or finish the string and make it unsafe without a big damage read. And he can do this mix-up twice, as he can transition to the mid after 1, 2, or 3 Hell Sweeps. That means that the Hell Sweep string isn't a 50-50 mix-up on block, it's a decision tree on block that looks like this. And not just that, but if you guess wrong on below, the damage can be anywhere in the range of 40 to 70%.
Hashtag buff Heihachi, man.
And it's
Mishima
all
privilege, let's
safe.
go.
all of it. You have to block the Hell Sweep, guess right through the whole decision tree, and you get no reward for it. Your reward is survival for another 10 frames probably. This is by far, the strongest move in the fuckfest that was the original Tekken. Not the most polished game by any means, and it's probably fortunate it never really had a pro scene that could optimize the game at its time. But now, we have 3 moves left from 3 different games. Are you still on target with your guesses?
Tekken 7
Let's find
still
out
up
which
there?
move got the bronze.
Who the fuck has the best Tekken? Probably Akuma,
Tekken,
right?
A respectable bronze finish is a move I have no respect for. Now you might be wondering, what move could possibly be more broken than some of the ludicrous entries we've just seen? In Tekken 7, it's not a Leroy move. Well, it's not a move. It's a form of movement. That's right. Number 3 on this list are the jumps that Akuma, Elisa, and Geese
Really?
have access to in Tekken 7. This is the most broken move in Tekken 7, and it hasn't seen any signs of being remotely patched. 2D jumps have been terrorizing Tekken 7 for years.
Honestly,
allowing
it's a
2D
good
players
thing
to
that you
rush
don't really
lows,
play against
mids,
these
and highs
characters,
alike
right?
in situations
Eliza's
they
the
really,
least played
really
character
shouldn't be
in
allowed to.
Tekken.
And then
Akuma's
punishing
very
this crush move with a
unpopular
jumping
because
move that has so much
Akuma's very unpopular because he's not an original Tekken character. So as a Tekken player, I don't feel obligated to learn him. You know, it's weird, right? Like in a way, it's like I understand the character's hella good, but I don't want to play him. Like I don't care. He's in the game. I don't care. Same thing with Geese. You know, I just don't care.
advantage on block, but it creates a force range 0 mix-up, and on hit can lead to near death. There's a very simple reason why these 2D jumps are so broken, and it's not even the game engine's fault.
Yeah,
Well,
we
that's
saw
something
that
that
in
help.
the latest
The reason
Geese
2D jumps are so broken is
or
because in
JDCR
their
versus
respective 2D
Moyle.
games there are moves, features, mechanics, whatever, that are specifically designed to counter aerial movements. You know what they're called? Anti-airs. Tekken has had to deal with problems like this since moon jumping back in Tekken 2, and so players have had to lab meticulous solutions and create their own anti-airs
Just
with
do an up laser, bro.
limited success. Sure, you may have a demon flip option select on block, but do you have a consistent anti-air and they just raw jump over you at the wall when it's supposed to be your Kazemi? Because I sure don't. I don't care about the meter, I don't care about the damage, I don't care about the invincibility. I hate 2D characters because there's no consistent way to defend against their bullshit, and most notably their bullshit 2D jumps. Because while their aerial movement was imported from their original games anti-airs were not, nor were any new and consistent anti-airs introduced. And that's a fucking huge problem.
I still think Geese is top 3.
Now though, we have 2 moves left from Tekken 4
This
and
further
Tekken 5
proves my
respectively.
theory.
Veteran Tekken players may well be able to guess the top 2 now, but can you guess which game our runner-up move is from?
Steve 5.0? Or Jin Laser Scraper, right? Just Frame?
It's from Tekken 5. That's right, the runner-up on this list is Steve's 311 from Tekken 5.
Yeah,
This
Infinite.
move has a very unique feature.
You see, I'm pretty good at these.
1-1, it stuns the opponent on either counter hit or a side or back turn hit. And since this move comes out of a sway, that happens a lot. But that's not enough. The stun is an infinite loop. Steve's 311 is the easiest infinite in Tekken history, and it's safe. In fact, the infinite loop was so easy and notorious that it was immediately.
But you see, like, I would have put the
Evo
infinite
and
loop
practically
as
all
best.
other major and local tournaments alike. Not that it really stopped people from performing touches of death with Steve.
Round 2. Fight.
People might be surprised that this move is number 2 on the list. It is a little tricky to set up, and it's only a counter hit launcher if it doesn't hit on the side. But the opponent cannot mess up a single time. One whiff could cost him an entire round against Steve. In Tekken 5, one whiff can consistently cost you your entire health bar. That hasn't happened in any Tekken game since Tekken 2, and it does not consistently happen in any Tekken game after Tekken 5. I don't care about your perfectly placed Rage Max Peter Howard stage juggles either. They don't consistently happen. But in tournaments, Steve consistently and regularly performed touches of death on opponents across the world. Tekken 5 Steve is the only character in modern history to perform touches of death at any time, at will, and it's not even hard. This move is the only time in Tekken history that a single move, not a character, but just one single move, was banned from Tekken tournaments. And that's still not enough to bag this move the number 1 spot. I think we all know it. Let's see the final entry on this long list.
Spoof for comedic time. Ron's hitbox.
Jin's Just Frame Laser
I don't
Scraper,
know.
without a doubt the most
Yeah.
infamous move in Tekken history. I can't even begin to go into detail about why this move is so infamously broken, but I do have a friend who can.
Tekken 4, they made it so the the laser scraper, you could hold down right punch, so you could do back forward 2-1, down 2, and if you hold the 2 all the way, becomes unblockable, right? It's like a blue spark. It comes out kind of really slow if you hold it, but it becomes unblockable. So the glitch of some sort, what we call it, where we kind of found a way to make that move, that unblockable, come out at instant speed as fast as the regular one, which if you just let it rip, which is back forward 2-1, down 2, that normally is just blockable. But we were able to kind of like merge those two and glitch it to make it where the unblockable version came out as fast as the quick version. So normal characters can sidewalk it, right? So if they decide to do anything besides the fast one and they start sidewalking, they'll sidestep it. Or it might be -11, right? So you can squeeze in a little sidestep down jab or like a sidestep jab. So kind of that's another countermeasure. Some characters have reversals, like Paul, Law, so they can kind of deal with it that way. The rest of the cast can sidestep. So Yeah, those are some of the defense options.
But you see, this one has defense options.
At high level, we're not really actually doing the move a lot. Like we're really just kind of like playing around the move, or we're setting our game up with the move, with the threat of the move, and then we're making our opponent like kind of have to deal with the guessing. On hit, you get hit by the first two. The first two hits are guaranteed. So that's where the kind of like mix up comes in. So like, if you can do the fast one and you try to sidestep, you're gonna get hit. If you're hesitating on sidestepping, the just frame is gonna hit you, launch you, right? And if you try to sidewalk it, I'll just do the fast one every time, and it'll stop you from sidewalking. So it's kind of like a meta game within the move. So it's not completely busted, but it was busted enough where made you have to like kind of guess or deal with the move, right? Deal with this mid move and its options afterwards. It's like there's a few characters in general. There's a few characters that can kind of jump and like escape getting fully launched, and they get like a little mini launch. Okay, and then also on counter hit, you can just do all three, and it's a launcher. So that's another part of it. So like you don't want to contest.
That's pretty good.
The laser scraper also because you don't want to get counter hit where you can't escape at all, and then it's just like a launch. So you have to deal on that end of it also. So there's like a whole meta game involved with that move alone. So that is why I think it's number one most OP move in Tekken of all time.
Nah, I still think it's 5.0, Steve. That fucker just hits you and you die.
Oh my god. Main hit. Before we finish,
What the
here's
hell?
some
You
stats
just
showing the number
you got
of
you
moves that
and
came
done?
with each game in the series. And now stats showing which characters were featured the most. And finally, some honorable
Wait.
mentions
I want to
that
look
didn't
at this.
quite
Characters that were featured the
showing
most.
which characters were featured.
Sheesh, where's Deviljin? Deviljin, you see, we're not even there, bro. Twice, bro. It would have to be like a mixture of Deviljin and T1 Jin, right? So, but who has the most? Bob? Fucking Bob. And, because 6.0 Bob was hella good, apparently, and he was good in Tekken 6, because they do this all the time, right? Or all the new Tekken characters are good. But I feel like they made the Tekken 7 characters way too easy, and they didn't want to make them too good. So then they released a second wave of new Tekken 7 characters that were too good. And they're like, fuck it, they're kind of easy. They're still easy, but like not as easy as Katarina and fucking Shaheen and Claudio. So that's cool. Julia got 1. Who else does Armor King got 3. Paul 3. Well, yeah, interesting list.
The most.
I thought it'd be fun to
Finally,
watch.
some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list. Pause the video if you want to read these. Thank you so much for watching. This video has been a labor of love over months and months of research, script writing, recording, interviewing, and editing. Thank you to everyone who helped with research and everyone who cameoed through the list. I appreciate it so much. If you watched the entire video, thank you. You're insane.
We'll
I'm
drop
not
a
going to take up any
subscribe.
more of your time. I will only say
Good video.
feel free to subscribe as I have made, and we'll continue to make tons more unique and original Tekken and FGC, and hope maybe in the future just general gaming videos like this. But maybe not quite as long, at least for a while.
So, all right, you guys, I'm also out. So, I gotta go do other stuff too. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know if you guys have more Tekken stuff or other video reacting stuff that you want me to do. Just drop it in the comment section. I'll do a video on it. Don't think I won't. All right. So, like and subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff if you want. I don't really care. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. So, peace out.